But let me begin by telling you a story. Once upon a time, a long time ago, I had a boss that adored my work to the point where I had almost total carte blanche of how I did it and when. Every month, we had a one-to-one meeting that scared me to death. I knew there was no reason for me to be afraid, but I was. So every month, the meeting would start very cordially, and then as I spoke, she'd start tapping her foot, and I could tell I was annoying her, but I couldn't figure out why. And as the more I tried to not annoy her, the more annoyed she got. By the same token, as she would ask me questions about my work, I felt like she was attacking me, and it scared me. And so it went on month after month after month. Until one day, as we had our meeting, she said, "You know, Sharon, whenever I ask you to give me something in writing, it is concise, it's clear, it's factual. But it seems like whenever we're talking, you're all over the place." And I'm like, So then we kept talking, and she wanted to know if there was anything she could do differently that would help me. So she said, well, maybe instead of, because she would ask me for facts. How many of this? How many of that? What percentage compared to last year? I don't know. I mean, if I knew in advance, I'd have it ready, but if I didn't, then who knows? So she said, how about if I ask you if you can get me? It took all the stress out of the whole thing. Now, at that time, I did not know about different behavioral styles and how different people perceive the world and think about the same things differently. But it certainly made a huge difference for me in our interactions. Time went on, and I studied behavioral styles because we all have our preferred styles. There is no one style that is better or worse than another. They are all essential for the completion of a project. We are all better at certain pieces, and that's what's important for us to know for ourselves and to get along with other people. So these are the 4 basic styles. In my story, my boss was the analyzer. She needed to know how. Factual, detail, accuracy. Slow to react. Very particular. I am primarily an initiator. I need to know why. I think in concepts and abstracts. How are things related? So I think of more than, less than, and I'm quick to react. So you can see how we would have a hard time communicating if we didn't understand this. We meet as drivers because we both can be very goal-oriented and focused on results. But when she changed how she reacted to me, and I changed how I reacted with her, it eased it all up. And this is the crux of the thing. Most of us are able to access whatever style is indicated by whatever we're doing. So it's not like we're all focused only on one style. But we have our 1 or 2 preferred styles that we go to when we're relaxed and when we are under stress. And they're predictable. And if you learn about this, you can notice with different people what their style is by their body language, the questions they ask, how they present things. And it's interesting to me because when you understand it, you can easily adjust yourself a little bit so that you are helping them to understand you in a way that is comfortable for them. For an example, drivers and initiators are not patient people. They don't want a lot of detailed rigmarole. The analyzers and the relators don't want change. They need time to adjust. So the driver and initiator, they're a quick. Well, that doesn't work for the analyzers and the relators. On the other hand, the drivers get very impatient, and so do the initiators when people take a lot of time. The other major difference is that the drivers and the analysts are fact-oriented. They do not want to speak about feelings. They're uncomfortable with them. The initiators and relators, on the other hand, are all about feelings, people. They read body language really easily. The initiators, quick. They meet people very quickly, talk very easily, they get to know people quick. The relators take a while to get to know you. But once they do, they are your friend forever, very loyal. They make very good counselors. They're the ones that will have all their pictures of all their family and pets and so forth, and they want to know all about yours. It will drive a driver crazy because they see it as totally irrelevant. They are result and goal-oriented. Feelings do not affect the result. So let's not talk about them. Analysts are uncomfortable with feelings. They don't read body language very well or expressions. You think Sheldon at the Big Bang Theory. You know, he's an extreme example. The other thing I want to point out with this, these are all normal behaviors. It isn't like one is better than another, except at what? And I'm repeating that because it is critical, and people tend to think people are only one thing, but we are not. We use all these different things for different aspects, but if you are trying to utilize your least preferred style, it can take you longer and be more difficult. It can leave you drained. When you're dealing with people with opposite styles, over time particularly, you can get them hurt feelings, angry, and resentful. And over time, with personal relationships, it can get worse and worse. If you understand, so you can allow them to be who they are and understand they have a different perspective, it eases it. And it can create much different things. A few months ago, a woman called me 2 days after she heard me present and told me that she worked in a call center. Most of her calls came from irate customers. Her job was to reduce their dissatisfaction and to solve their problems. She said the day after she had heard me that she had the highest statistics that she had had since she started, and the highest for the whole department, because by using the knowledge she gained, she was able to adjust how she approached each customer based upon her knowledge of this, reducing their dissatisfaction pretty quickly. And I spoke with her a couple of months later, and she told me that she was now, every new person had to sit with her as part of their training to learn how she handled the phone calls, and she's being groomed for management. And that really felt good to me. I was very glad that she took the time to let me know. So this is part of why this can be so helpful to people, and it's easy to learn. It's not something you need to spend years doing. It's something you can grasp pretty quickly. So thank you very much.